Hello again, and welcome back to, why are you looking at me like that? Yes, hello, and welcome back to Craftinomical. As usual, there's loads to do today. This will probably have to be a short episode because I'm away and my upload speed is rubbish. So we will have to see how it goes. I have done some work on the supermarket. I've done quite a lot of aesthetic work. So let me just catch you up with that. Ta-da! As you can see, I've put in an arch. I think it felt better to split this into 2 rooms. I have moved this around to here, and I changed out the conveyors. I found these other conveyors. The orange one just was such a clash with the rest of the colours that I think a white one will work better. I chiseled a little basket, just because there's very few like decorating options in this mod unless you want to chisel stuff, so there's a basket. And for these signs, again, I went with the chisel. I thought, oh, I'll try it and see, and actually I quite like how it looks, so I'm gonna stick with this. Hopefully it's clear what everything says. Veg, I decided to not try to write vegetables because the E is quite hard to make small because of all of the curves. So yes, just veg. And then it's what's on the other side here. Berries. And I think I need to move some stuff around. The tea and coffee, no one's gonna look for them under grains, so they either have to be on their own, or I could put them in with flavour, because I think if I came in here and was like, where would tea and coffee be? I'd probably look at flavour first. And there are 2 empty slots, which I put sugarcane and cactus in, but again, they're not flavouring, so I might whack them in barrels somewhere. They're not foods, but I feel like they would be quite useful to have for sale. And actually, I think there is a cactus soup, so it's completely legit to sell it here. Next up, more chiseling. I want to have some nice display counters here, and I mean the fridges are all right, but I wanted to make it look really good, so I've done some chiseling, and hopefully this will look good. These bits are not quite finished, but almost. To use as counters, so let's see, like so, and I think that looks really good. There will be glass all the way on top. I think this is the finished product, although it's kind of nice to be able to see the products unfettered. But I'll try both and see. Yeah, so I'm gonna have these along the whole thing for like cheeses and as in dairy and seafood and meat. So let's go put those down now. Let's see here. This is that. And the rotate. And the lobster. That's meant to be a shrimp. It's kind of giant. I'm not sure if I should use it. But it's very seafoody, I think, so it's probably okay. And I'm well aware that lobsters are blue in nature. And they're only turned red when they're cooked. But red is so, like, that immediately is obviously a lobster. I think if I'd made it blue, it would have been a bit more like, what? So we could just say we're selling cooked lobster. And what was the other one? I had another one here. This one. That's meant to be clams. I'm not sure if that's obvious. We've got 4 of those, and then we've got cheeses. I think that's very obviously a cheese. And this one here. is meant to be kind of a holy Swiss cheese. And then this one is Norwegian cheeses. There's a very typical Norwegian cheese that everyone eats. I think they have them in other Scandinavian countries as well. It's brown and it's very tasty, and to most people this will just look like nothing, but to any Norwegian that sees this, they'll be like, yeah, that's definitely brown cheese, and be very impressed. So I like having that there. I am half Norwegian, just in case anyone was wondering why I'm including Norwegian cheeses. And then we have meat over here. There's a chicken, some sausages, and that, and I've also got this slab of meat. I could have put that in the 4 wide space, but I prefer these. So I think I'm gonna go with a 3 wide space for the meat and just have that. That's obvious what that is. I can't really increase the space without changing the whole building. How does it look if I put it? That maybe could work. I'll leave it there for now. Alright, I've covered up the counters with glass. The reason I used blue glass is because I feel like it looks a bit like it's sort of a cold color, so it might look a bit like, oh yes, this is definitely chilled, but I'm not sure. And I moved this here. That could just oh no, this could work. It's sort of less obvious what's where. There'll be the fridges behind here where people can actually get the stuff from. So I want it to be clear what's where, but I'm not sure if I should have that pillar there or just whether to have it open like this. I'm struggling a bit with where to put the actual fridges that this stuff would be in. It occurred to me that I could have done like fridges along here and then made these little bits to put on top. If I'm gonna do that now, it means re-chiseling everything. Because this would need to be on the bottom of the block and not the top. That would also be quite high. This kind of looks better, like the height. So the problem is the windows. I might have to change the windows and try to somehow keep it still looking okay from the outside and in keeping with the style. I mean, I can do this, but I had been thinking to have some villagers back here to be like the butcher and the, oh yeah, I mean I could get an actual butcher and an actual fisher. See, that would be really fun. So, and an actual farmer. So yeah, I'm not really sure where to. I could put them in the floor along the front. I could put them. No, this wall is only 1 thick, or I could put them in the wall. It's a bit tricky. Okay, I think this will work actually. I brought these counters forward 1 block, and now we can have the fridges behind there, and it doesn't look weird. So that meant that I had to lose a couple of these, which is sad, but for the best. And also an advantage is that now there's like a wall on both sides when you walk in, so that's balanced. So I'm gonna go with this, I believe, and just pump stuff in here. I might fill this in as well with wall. Yeah, that might look better. Yep, that looks better. Next thing to do is, if we want to start wiring this up, we've got to clear up down here. And I have been dreading this and putting it off. Basically, all of this stuff needs to go, and we need to find another home for it, and I really don't know what to do. It always takes me so long to do this kind of thing. And I'm not sure where I want it. Although, actually, no, having said that, I had initially planned to have my machines here, but Spawn Town is getting laggy. So it would be better to set up my machines somewhere else. So I'll probably do that over at the supermarket tech place. So yeah, I guess I'm going to have to do that now and see you in a few years when it's all done. Behold, it's almost all clear. I have left the stuff that's sort of supermarket related and the void ore miner because I don't know how, I can't easily move all this stuff. My storage is completely full, so I can't put it in there. So I'm just gonna leave that there for now. Famous last words. I've been doing some fishing with this, seeing how easy it is to automate. And, I mean, it works, so, this empties all the fish out into this chest here. And then I've filtered it so that some types get sent into this autocrafter that creates bait with them. And then that bait goes back in here. This is just irrelevant to the system. So it works, but it's really, really slow. Like, it's been running for days, and this is what I've got. So if I want to... Well, I don't know how much people will buy them, but if I want to have a bunch in storage, I would need loads of these traps. And I think they need like 5 water spaces around them, so you can't just shove a bunch in a pool of water and expect them to work. And then this was what I set up to grow the sesame and the giga pickles, because they couldn't go in the insulators. I started off with bone meal, but now there's so much in the system that just using this is fine every time it grows naturally at harvests. And this is where stuff gets picked up. Where the crops come in from the system. It's not running at the moment though. Oh right, yes, this absorption hopper picks up these when they get harvested and puts them in. And again, this needs improving on. So now we have the delightful job of setting this all up. When I say setting it all up, what I mean is I want to do something similar to what I did last time, which was everything went into a big storage system. So I was using AE2 at the time. It all goes into disk drive storage and then into the drawers. Because that way that works as an overflow system, and additionally you can then hook up crafting to it, auto crafting, and you can have, I had a cafe with auto crafting recipes that people could go and make food with the ingredients from the storage system or from the supermarket. So I kind of want to do something similar this time, but I'm not quite sure how. I don't want to use AE2 if I can help it. So I'm gonna have to think about it a little bit. Additionally, we need to set up a dairy farm to produce all of the dairy products. And meat farms as well. I'm torn between using the Pam's traps. I can't remember. Is it just animal trap? No, it's the name changed. Between using those, which are cheap to set up and run but slow, or to use actual animal spawners. Animal spawners won't get every type of meat anyway. They won't get the duck and the turkey and stuff, so let's just start by setting up the storage system. So this is where I've just moved my stuff temporarily. Please let it be temporarily. This is very not... This is just everything that I moved over. So full. Okay, so we want to have a basic system like this for over there that stuff can go into. So let me just work on that. I really need to automate this. Yes. Do I need anything else? I've got the controller, the disk drive, the crafting monitor, and the storage disk, which that's probably not going to be enough forever, but for now it'll do. Let's power. I need a power cell, which actually, because this is community stuff, I could probably use that power. By that power, I mean power coming from the community generated stuff rather than my own supply. Okay, I'll just put this down here. And yes, I am aware that I had a crafting monitor, not a crafting grid. That has been changed. So now what needs to happen is I need to go get more conduits. I really need wireless storage. Okay. Last time I had it set up to go into, I think it, from the ender chest into here first with a higher priority and then into the system. But I think it might be better to send it directly into here and then pull out into the drawers, because that way they'll still end up in the drawers. Okay, I've got it importing into here, and then I've got an exporter here, but stuff is just staying in here. I don't know if there's a way to tell it to just export anything it can. Okay, it's taken some time, but I've set this up. Ta-da! Doesn't it look gorgeous? So everything, all of the crops go in here and they get put into the storage system. At the moment it's still catching up. I put a few speed upgrades in. I think once it's caught up it should be able to keep on top of the rate at which crops come in. I hope. Okay, and then we have these crates which have an exporter on each side, or almost each side, and then there's a slot for each crop. And these exporters actually, they have this really useful setting, the regulator mode, which is like the advanced, or it counts the number of items so you can tell how many items. So I've set a stack of each into these crates. And then these conduits pull those crops out of these crates and up into the drawer controller and into the drawers. That will be it for today. Thank you for watching, as usual, and have a nice day / morning / evening. Why are you staring? I don't get it. I still don't get it.